Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Kicking it with KeKe. Full of personality. Switching up the storyline on God, we making history.
Writing books, changing lives, one day at a time. Put your problems to the side. Enjoy yourself. Free your mind.
Kicking it with KeKe.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I am your host, KeKe Chanel, award-winning author, lifestyle blogger, certified life coach, and podcast host. You know, the overall theme for Kicking It with KeKe is all about personal development. I believe that when we operate as our highest self, we live life more abundantly. So thank you guys for tuning in. I have a special guest with me today. Y'all know how I do. I like to let my guest introduce himself, but I'll go ahead and tell you he is Christopher Chris Dash, and he is the owner of Dashtees Apparel. Chris, thank you for joining me this evening.
Thank you.
Doing? How
Thank
you
you
doing?
for letting me be here. I'm great. I'm always good.
All right. I love that attitude. I love the attitude. Have that energy and stand by
Yeah.
it, right?
I'm always good. Even when things aren't going exactly as planned, I'm always good because I know it's gonna work out. So
I love that. I love that. So I told him a little bit. You tell the people who you are and what you do.
okay, all right. So I am Chris Dash. You can call me Chris. You can call me Dash. A lot of people call me Dash. Either way, I don't mind. Call me Christopher if you like to. That works. I am the owner of Dashtees. And what Dashtees is, it's a custom clothing apparel company. So, yes, we have clothing, we have T-shirts, we got hoodies, whatever your heart desires, but we customize it. So if there's something you want on there that, is not there, we'll put it there for you.
I need to get with you because I need me some Coach KeKe shirts, man.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can do that.
okay, we're gonna talk about that once we get off camera. Okay.
We could do that.
I love it. So what made you get into the apparel company? How did that all start?
It was like happenstance, but at the same time, it was right up my alley because I am a person that I like to express myself. And, I like to help people at the same time. So I just kind of married the two and said, I want to help others express themselves. I want to take people's voice, their vision, their dreams, and, help them get it out there. And I felt like the perfect way to do that was through clothing, too. You make yourself a walking billboard sometimes with, and there's things that people need to say.
Mm.
They should say that they have it within them that others need to hear. I want to help that person get to the other person that needs to hear it, if that makes sense.
It does. Because you already know because we follow each other on social media. I'm a t-shirt person, man.
Yeah.
I buy so many t-shirts and I have to put myself on t-shirt jail.
Yeah, me too. I be buying from other people, even though I got the company.
Yes. So you already know, but
yeah,
I have a t-shirt line that's coming up.
Nice.
It's all about some of the stuff that I tell my clients was the life coach, and I won't give anything away because I don't want anybody to steal my stuff. But I'll tell you after we get out. But it's all about the message. It's all about making people say, or starting a conversation, really. Because if you out and about, somebody see your shirt and like, excuse me, what does that mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea behind it. Because now we can have a conversation, and if we can have a conversation, we can come to an understanding or comprehension. And even if we don't agree, at least we can see where the other person is coming from.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, and I love the motto that you have. Everything deserves to be on a T within reason.
Right. Within reason.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just the same thing. It's all about starting a conversation. And getting that conversation started, because the more we can talk with each other, the more we can get some perspective, or have a new perspective.
Mhm.
Like I said, I might not necessarily agree with you, but now I see where you're coming from.
Absolutely.
I
It's all
see your
about that
side.
open
Yeah.
dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And I'm not a small talk person. I don't like small talk. So I
Yeah.
like to have deep conversations of
Yeah.
substance. So
Yeah.
I love that you say that because, some people just be talking just to hear themselves
Yeah.
talk. I'm not that type of person. It
I
says
get
the
that.
podcast host, right? It has to have some type of value. I want to make
Yes.
sure that whoever I'm having a conversation with or whomever is listening to the conversation gets something that they can apply to their lives and
Right.
make it more, make it better, you
Hmm.
know. So okay, we can talk about t-shirts all day long.
Yes,
And
we can.
I'm gonna give you a chance to plug everything and tell people how they can purchase and
Okay.
connect with you and all of that. But I want to get into this personal development because
Yeah.
the overall theme for the podcast is all about personal development.
Right.
So when it comes to personal development, what does that mean for you or to you?
Okay. So with me, I'll take it back to my childhood with my parents. My dad, he was a big proponent of education, and so was my mom.
Mhm.
But not just like schooling per se, but really educating yourself. Doing the research. Just don't do things to do them. So that's kind of how I live my life. And, I need to know why. I need to know how. I need to know what's the meaning behind this. So with me, my personal development is always trying to learn more and to gain a perspective, gain a new perspective, gain a new mindset,
Oh,
because maybe, the way I was thinking before might not exactly be right. And I need to change it and look at it like this or do it this way now because that's clear or
mhm.
more clear. So that's kind of what my personal development looks like, is to gain a deeper understanding of people, of places, of things, or the way things work, and to become better by doing that.
I love
So,
that because we do get sometimes stuck in cycles or
yes.
traditions
Yep.
or because mama says so or daddy says
Right.
so or big mama
Hmm.
says so. And one thing I can say about this new generation of people,
Yeah.
they ain't going off that because I said so. They
Yeah.
want to know why. And I don't
Yeah.
blame them for that
I
because at,
couldn't
at
blame
some
either.
point growing up, we wanted to know why. We just didn't
Hmm.
ask because we didn't want to
We
get our face
scared.
slapped.
We
Right.
scared.
You don't question the grown-ups back
No, you
then.
better not. Don't. You just do it. And
Just do it. Just
because
do
I
it.
said so.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
I know we talked about, we personal development and having a better perception and understanding. Do you believe that there's a such thing as negative personal development?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
let's go into
Because
that a little bit.
you
Because a lot of
mentioned,
people, when I ask that question, a lot of people was like,
mhm,
no. So I'm glad that you say, yeah.
sure there is.
Mhm.
There's definitely negative self development because you can create habits and cycles for yourself that have nothing to do with you growing or have any value to you, but they're devaluing you.
Yes.
And you can continue to live in that because it's comfortable and that's what you know.
Mhm.
And so you will perpetuate that, and then you will even pass it on.
Yes.
You pass it down to your kids or down to the people that you hang with, or whoever it is. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's definitely a thing, and that's why we always got to be mindful of personal development about who we're listening to. Is it of value? What we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about? What we're saying about ourselves?
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad.
Because you
Oh,
can
you
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 can
gave me a chill right there.
be
I don't know if you can see these little goofy bumps, but that's when it's good stuff. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's just how I am, because the other thing that I learned from young is, there's so much power in what you say.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always a big reader,
Mm-hmm.
but I was also a person who had to analyze what things meant. So if I'm reading something, I need to know what the word means. And
Mm-hmm.
with the English language or a lot of languages, one word can have 5 different meanings.
Yep.
So you got to be careful about what you're saying and how you're saying it, because there's power in each and everything that you say that comes out of.
Yes.
There's power in what you name yourself,
Oh,
or what your parents named you. There's power in that because it means something.
it ain't.
I named my daughter Kiani.
Mm.
Well, it's really Kioni,
Mm-hmm.
like it's Swahili, but
Oh.
I kind of Americanized it and said Kiani. I figured that'd be easier for people. But what it means is the one who sees things or the one who knows things. So every time I call her name, that's what I'm saying to her. That's what I'm speaking over her life, and she lives up to that.
Right.
So you take a person whose name is Jacob. I always use this. You take a person whose name is Jacob. Jacob has the meaning of someone who's like a cheater or a liar or a swindler.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at Jacob from the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly what he did.
That's what he
To the
did.
point where God had to change his name to Israel, which meant something so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And he, continued to speak that over his life. So every time you call a person's name, you're saying that meaning to them, and that has life in it. What you say out of your mouth has life, and it has the power to manifest.
Absolutely. And
So,
like our rich auntie say, speak impeccable over yourself.
right.
You
Mhm.
have to. And it's
I
power,
truly
it's life and death in the power of the tongue.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that the things that you absorb mentally, emotionally, and physically, it plays a big part in your
Yes.
personal development, in your mindset, the way that you view life and things like that. Because if you constantly looking in or listening to sad music or watching
Right.
sad things on television, and you walking around melancholy every day,
Yeah.
why is that? Because that's what you feed yourself.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And I feel like if
Absolutely.
you're in a circle of people and nobody is happy, man, run, run for real.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
It's,
I love that you're intentional when it comes to naming your child that name. I love that.
I was
And
very adamant about that. It has to have a meaning, but not just any meaning. It's got to be a good meaning. So we can't
yes,
make up any name because that has no meaning.
right,
It would cause her to not have any meaning.
right.
So we got to be very intentional about those things. What we say, what we're naming, what we're saying about ourselves, what we're saying about other people, because that does have power, whether we believe it or not.
Right. And sometimes you just got to look at the man in the mirror and
Right.
put on that positive self-talk, because we are worst critics. So we always quick to
Right.
judge when we're doing something bad. But
Yeah.
why is it when we never reward ourselves or say, hey, you're doing a great job when you're
Yeah.
doing a good job? Why is that, do you
Mhm.
think? And that brings us to our topic for today. Being intentional, like
Yeah.
being intentional. We have to be intentional, because I could talk about personal development all day long.
Yeah.
But we we'll be doing a
I mean,
part 2 and 3 and all that. But when it comes to being intentional, what
yeah.
does that mean for Chris Dash?
So, I'm a big thinker too, or I guess you could say I analyze a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I'll tend to be quiet and
That's
try to,
observing.
and observe, because I'm reading things, I'm reading the situation, I'm reading what you said, and then I give my answer, or I'll give my opinion, or I'll make my move or take my action.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very intentional about the things I do, because I want to make sure that not only am I making the right decision, but if I make this decision, I know what the consequences of it will be.
Right. Right.
And then once I know what the consequences are, then I can decide, okay, I fully accept responsibility for these consequences.
Absolutely.
So I have to be intentional about everything. And that's kind of the way I teach my children as well.
Mm-hmm.
I said, listen, I'm going to tell you things, and, I want you to question things. I want you to go behind me and research. I won't feel any type of way if you question what I said or why I said it. And I'm going to tell you why I said it. And I'm also going to tell you the consequences of it, good or bad. Now, once you know that, now the responsibility is on you. So when you make your decisions, whether it's a good decision or a bad decision, you've said, I fully accept the responsibility of that. So you can't blame anybody else.
Absolutely.
And that's how I try to live my life and be intentional, because, I'm going to fully accept the responsibility of everything I do.
Yeah. And see, it's funny that you say that, because I have a nephew, and we like this. So he tells me a lot, sometimes too much. I have a niece like that as well. She sometimes tell me too much, and I'm like, wait a minute, I got to prepare myself before I talk to you. But he told me once, he was like, Auntie KeKe, I think about the consequences before I do anything. And if I feel like I can handle the consequences, I'm going to do it. Whether it pisses anybody off or whatever, I'm going to still do it. If I know that I can handle those consequences, it's a done deal.
Absolutely.
And I was like, are you serious? He was like, yes. I said, well, I ain't gonna tell you what I told him, but we were talking about girls at the time, and I was
Yeah.
like, "You better make sure you use what I give you." You already know what I'm talking about. So
I care about what you think you can handle.
exactly, because that ain't just protecting you for something that you got to take care of for the rest of your life. It might save you from something you can't get rid of, like for real. But yeah, so I think you being intentional, it comes with having a mindset. You have to have that mindset of
Definitely.
a growth mindset, an abundant mindset. And I talk about that in a course that I just created called The Power of Mindset. And one of the key points that I talk about in that course is being intentional. So when it comes to being intentional and mindset, how important are those two things for you when you talk about mindset and being intentional?
Yeah, that I think it's extremely important, because you can be intentional, but you can be intentional in the wrong way, especially having the wrong mindset. So,
Oh, talk about it.
I thought about the consequences and I think that I can handle it, but did I really take a look at this, from all points of views? Because if I'm just looking at it with that narrow focus or just one way, sometimes you're not going to see everything, and you need to see the big picture. So that's where mindset comes in. Allow you to see the big picture. I think with a lot of us, humans, I guess I say, as we go through life, we're only living life in a physical mindset. And we have to kind of get out of that, because this world is not just physical. There's the mental that you're totally ignoring, which is a huge part of it. And then there's a spiritual aspect too. That's very important.
Very.
And all three of those work together to manifest in this physical world. So, you gotta see the big picture. If you don't, you're only going to be playing with, 1/3 of a mindset.
Absolutely.
You need all three to.
And when they not on speaking terms, man, everything gets thrown off balance. You lose focus. You miss out on or forfeit your purpose. So you just go through life kind of stagnant or not living up to your fullest potential because you just don't have the mindset and the spiritual side and the physical side and that mental.
The mental.
That's like first and foremost, that's got to be on point when we talk about mindset and being intentional. So I love that. I love how you break that down.
The physical is just that last level, of where everything is going to be manifested, like I said. But you got to start from 1, 2, and then 3.
Right.
So if 2 isn't right, or 3 or 1 isn't right, you messed up already.
Yeah.
You're wondering why we're repeating the same cycles. Why do I keep going through the same? Why I keep meeting the same people? Why keep, that's why.
That's what. You have a T-shirt that says "Stop going through cycles."
I'll make it up.
Right. I need a size small, please. Thank you very much.
All right. I got you.
Yes. Shout out to Jonathan McReynolds and his song "Cycles." It's one of my favorite songs. So I hope he's listening to it. Or y'all make sure y'all tag him so he could come.
Tag him, so he could come.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. So
and just I just want to say very quickly, when I speak like this, I'm not speaking like I have everything together. I'm really speaking from experience too, because I've been through the same things. I've had that mindset where, I'm only just walking in a physical mindset and repeating cycles, and why am I keep going through this and all of that? So, I do have some kind of experience to speak from.
Absolutely. And that's the main thing. We're human. We make bad decisions. We've made decisions. But at some point you have to stop blaming other people and get yourself together, because I haven't always had it together. Sometimes I still wonder if I have it together. I'm better now than what I was back then, because I didn't care about myself at all at one point. I did not. I didn't want you praying for me. Don't talk to me about nothing positive. I didn't want to hear it. But I'm thankful that I was delivered from that, and I'm able to help guide other people when they feel stuck. I wouldn't feel comfortable trying to do that if I've never lived it. People like relatability. And if you can't tell me how you overcame the obstacle that's in front of me, I really don't have nothing else really to say to you, because I'm looking at you. How you supposed to help me? Yes, exactly.
You don't even understand.
To all of the listeners, y'all, we ain't always had it together, but
Exactly.
listen to us and look at us now.
And speaking of intentional, sometimes I was very intentional about doing the wrong thing.
Oh,
I weighed out the consequences, and I was like, you know what? Just like your nephew, I'm willing to deal with that. I'm willing to take responsibility for those bad consequences if it happens. I was like that's what I said. Like even as a child, I was very analytical and very intentional about everything I did, and I weighed it out. I know my grandmother said, "Don't play in the holes and don't be up back there making mud pies." But I was like, it's more fun to make mud pies, and I'm willing to take that whooping with all my cousins because I want them to do mud pies. That's how I was. And
oh, the mud pies got us a lot of whippings back in the day. I swear.
I can stand in the back of the whooping line and they get tired by the time they get to me.
Oh no, not in my family.
They never got tired.
It's too many of us. Like I had so many aunties. Like if one was getting a whooping, you best believe there was nothing about to get you.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, my dad didn't really discipline us. He was always, your mama gonna get you. And I'm like, dang. Yeah, and she just didn't know when to stop. Shout out to my mama, y'all, Betty. We love you. But yeah. That's nostalgic that you bring up mud pies. And nowadays, going outside is considered punishment to kids nowadays. Right. It was punishment for us to come inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
We stay all day.
When it comes to branding yourself, how important is it for people to have that mindset of intention?
I think it's extremely important because when you're trying to sell something, a product, a service, or whatever it is, the consumer, they're not just buying a product just because you have a bath bomb. They're not buying that from you just because you have a bath bomb. Like, yes, they need a bath bomb, but they could get that from anybody.
Right.
But they're buying it because of you and who you showed yourself to be. And somehow what you said, did, or, showed resonated with them. And they're like, you know what? I'm buying from you.
Right.
I'm buying that t-shirt from KeKe because I relate to KeKe. I like her personality. I like the way she smiles. She always make me laugh. She got, whatever it is.
Right.
And that's why I'm buying that t-shirt from you.
Yes.
Not because, you just sell t-shirts, because there's a million people that sell t-shirts.
Absolutely.
So you gotta, have your branding down, and your brand is you, and that it's not just what you're wearing as far as with your logo on there, but it's your personality. It's how you act. It's how you're presenting yourself. It's what your story is. How transparent you are. That's part of your branding. So
I was just about to say that people buy and support people that they like.
Yeah.
Yes. And so we're going to get into the social media. Do you believe that social media is a good thing or a bad thing when it comes to being intentional in your branding for business?
It is a good thing if you are an intentional person about your brand. It can be bad if you don't use it for the tool that it is, because it's a tool.
Right.
But, if you don't understand that it's a tool or how to use that tool, then it's not really going to benefit you.
Right.
You can get lost in it, or it can even be really bad for you.
Right.
So you have to understand that, all social media is a tool to be used for, intentionally. So how are you going to use it to get to that audience, because that's kind of what it's for, is to get to that wider audience that you need, a great amount of people from a distance.
Right. And I noticed that every form of social media is different.
It's
on Facebook, I don't really get a lot of love. They just they're looking. I
haven't figured it out yet either.
Yeah, like it's family and friends and lookers and lurkers.
Yeah.
And if you post anything about you elevating, talking about business or whatever, you probably get 2-3 likes. But if you post something ratchet,
right,
and
ratchet.
And I noticed that with Instagram, I'm more professional. This business KeKe. But then this thing called TikTok.
TikTok,
Hey,
right?
TikTok get to
TikTok
see
is something else.
the goofy, the fun side of KeKe
Yeah.
Chanel. And I credit that to my brother because he told me, he said, you don't give them people enough of you. He said, your numbers should be way higher than what they are because
Yeah.
you are a special person. He said, I ain't talking about you just silly in that special way. People need to see your personality. And I was like, I really don't want everybody to get that side of me. So I joined TikTok and I realized that my audience have grown on TikTok within the matter of weeks, that it has taken me years to build on the other platforms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Like, because it's different people that's on TikTok versus on Instagram, or
I think it could be the mindset of TikTok or the generation that's on TikTok, you know, and I think you've done a good job of understanding what TikTok is about. You know, so once you cater to that too, and you make it you, then it's you know, there's no way it's not going to prosper.
right.
You know, versus Instagram, you know, you found out how to make that you and what it's actually looking for, and then you put that into you, and that's how you prosper there. Facebook is a little more difficult, you know, but
I'm still trying to figure it out.
We'll figure it out, you know, and but I think that's what it is. And like I said, they're all different things and different tools. And once you understand how to work them, you know, because it does take time. And like with me with Instagram, I've only been on here about 2 years, 2020. And when I first got on, I had no clue what to do with Instagram. I figured you just put a picture up there and you get 8 million views, and you know, okay, here's a picture. You know, it doesn't work that way. You know, you had to learn. Somebody had to actually say, hey, you know, this is what you do. If you do this, this is going to happen. You know, this is the results. And I was able to actually do that and see that it works, and then make it my own. You know, put myself into it, and you know, now people follow me. People, you know, comment. People engage with me.
Yeah, because you always talk about things of value. You give out little gems that's like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, so I appreciate that for you. I might not be able to be on every live, but I go back, watch the replay, or somebody will tag it and send it to me, and I'm like, let me write this down. You know, Dash said this, and that. Just like Coach Shaniqua, shout out to Coach Shaniqua. She always gives some great, amazing content. So I think that the audience for Instagram for sure is all about business, growing their brands and things like that. Whereas, you know, Facebook is just kind of like settled. It's the older crowd because the newer crowd is moving around. Still don't have Snapchat. I don't think I'll get that.
I ain't figured that out either. So you lucky I got on TikTok.
Oh, what? Yes, me too. But I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it now, but I had my reservations about it.
Right. So when it comes to being intentional, what tips? Let's say what 3 tips can you offer listeners today? And these are just tips. You know, it's not a science. It's not a guarantee. It's just something that he is giving us as a tip. I just want to put that disclaimer out there because people take stuff and say, oh, KeKe had Dash on here and Dash said this and it ain't work. Yeah, no, we don't do it.
So, I mean, as far as intentional goes and some tips, I would say, you know, once you know your purpose or what you're supposed to do, or you have this dream that you just can't let go, you have this vision, you have this passion that you just can't let go, and you know what it is and you want to go there, do it. Do it regardless of what anybody say, because everybody gonna have an opinion and they're gonna say something. Your mama gonna say something. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. I don't care what nobody say. You do it. You keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. If that's your thing, if you said that's what I'm supposed to do, and you know it in your heart of hearts, do it. That's all I got. Just keep going. Just do it.
Just do it and keep going.
Just do it, because if that's, like I said, if that's your thing, then you have to be intentional about it. If that's your passion, you have to be very intentional about what you're taking in from opinions and what other people have to say. And if you, like I said, if you know that's what you're supposed to do, if you know that's where you're supposed to go, if that thing is in your heart and you can't let it go, you go for it. regardless of what anybody's got to say, what anybody, any negativity, any no's that come up, because you can get a lot of no's too. No, you can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. There's always a way to do something. A no is not really ever a no. There's always a way for that door to open.
Yep, always move forward.
You have to go around the back, go around the side door. You know,
you might have to even climb through a window.
Climb through a window. You know that you keep going.
Yeah.
I don't care what happened. I don't care what you tell yourself. If that's your thing, you better do it.
Exactly, and you will know that it's your thing because you eat, sleep, breathe.
There it is.
You can't let go of it. Because I tried to walk away from writing 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But it always found me. For it never left me, I should say. But I always found myself using my words to pour life into other people. And I'm like, okay, why can't you do that with your own words for you?
Right.
I just didn't want to at the time. I didn't realize it at the time that I was just being stubborn and I didn't want my words to help me because I didn't want to be helped at that time. But yeah, when it's a part of your purpose, you can't shake it loose.
You can't,
no matter how hard you try.
You can run, but it's gonna always be there.
Yep,
it'll be right there every time you turn around.
Every time you turn around, it's there. Okay, so tell people how they can connect with you. How can they support? Get T-shirts. You know, if we have somebody that's looking for some customization T-shirts, how can they connect with Dashtees? Okay,
so let's start with the website then. So I'm on Shopify, and my website is Dashtees. So DASHTEES.myshopify.com. So that'll take you right to the website, to everything that I have on there. Okay. If you need something custom, you can email me. So I'll spell that out for you. It's Dashopia, DASHOPIA @gmail.com. But if you don't want to email me, you can reach me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram as Dashtees, the T-shirt connoisseur. You can hit me in my DMs. If you want to hit me up on Facebook, go to my Dashtees page. All you got to do is type in Dashtees, and you'll find me. You can hit me up there in the DMs, in the Messenger. You can find me on my personal page on Facebook, Christopher Dash, and hit me up on Messenger there. I'm on TikTok as C-Opia. I think I changed it to Dashtees.
Yeah, you did. I think so.
Simple. So I'm on TikTok as Dashtees as well. So if you search Dashtees, you'll find me. I'm on YouTube as well. I've changed I just had a personal page, but I changed it to Dashtees as well. So you can hit me up on YouTube as well and find my videos there as well, and comment and like and subscribe.
Absolutely. Listen, y'all don't have no excuse not to, y'all gonna get all this information in the show notes. Right. And all of it is the same across the board. And that is important when you're branding yourself. Make sure it makes sense across all social media so people don't have to guess if it's you or not. You know? Absolutely. Okay, so y'all make sure y'all connect with Dash and support him, y'all. Support him. Get your custom T-shirts done. Yeah. You know.
I would love that, but you don't always have to financially support. Support goes in other ways too. Comment, like, share, subscribe. I mean, that I appreciate that just as much because, you know, I recognize that I don't have to be for everybody, and I am not for everybody, but it might be somebody you know that I am for. So share it.
I love that you say that, because I do tell people all the time, support is not always about financially. Right. It could be, you know, just the click of a button and just following or sharing something, or like you said, tell somebody, you know. So yeah, I love that you say that. So what's next for Dashtees? What's next for you? What you got going on?
I definitely plan on growing. So you know, I'm trying to expand more on social media, expand my reach, expand as far as the business side goes. Is, you know, I'm mostly online now with my things through Shopify, which really helped me in that point of life that I was in. But now I want to go to, you know, having physical things as well. So I want to move more into women's fashion and have actual physical products where I'll ship them out to you the same as well. And you know, get one of the shirt presses and things like that to actually do my own custom things.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting bigger and better, and making it a thing,
I
you know,
love it.
and offering more custom services as well. Like, because that is truly the thing behind Dashtees is we are custom. So I really want to be custom to you. Whatever that thing is, I really want to bring that out of you and then show it to you and say, this is what you said to me. Is this what you saw in your head? And then I
Yeah.
want you to be able to smile and say, that's exactly what I saw. All right, yeah, take it.
Yes, I
I love
love
it.
it.
Now tell everybody.
I love it. I love it. Oh,
Yep.
okay. So, on a personal note, I love to ask
Mhm.
this question to all of my guests.
Okay.
If your now self could tell your younger self about
Mm-hmm.
being intentional, which is today's topic, what would
Mm-hmm.
you say and why?
I would say, I'd just say keep going. I wouldn't tell myself to change anything. I wouldn't try to give myself any tips or anything like that. The only thing I would say is keep going, pray, and, you know, keep going. It's going to work out. Keep going, pray. It's
Mhm.
going to work out.
It's going
I
to.
probably would repeat those three things because, I needed to make a lot of those mistakes. I needed to be in some of those situations that I was in, regardless of how bad it was. I needed to learn some of those lessons, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I feel like that might have been the only way I would have learned that lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want my younger self to change anything because then I wouldn't be the person I am now. So
And I love that. I was just about to say you wouldn't be who you are now, but I love to
right,
ask that question because I like to compare the different answers that I get with each guest. And it
yeah,
makes so much sense now that you say that. It just makes so much sense. So thank you for that. And I appreciate you coming to kick it with me this evening. It
thank
has
you.
been a pleasure. Is there any parting words that you would like to leave with the listeners before we get off tonight?
Absolutely, I'm gonna say what I always been saying. Keep going.
Keep going.
Don't
Y'all
stop.
heard it.
Keep going.
Yes.
Do not stop. I don't care what they say. Don't stop. If you know
Don't
that,
stop. Get it. Don't
keep
stop.
going and get it. Exactly.
Yeah,
Get it. Get it. That's
absolutely.
it.
But Dash, it has been a pleasure. You guys have been listening to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I am here every Thursday with a new episode. Make sure you go and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media. I'm on all platforms except for Snapchat. I haven't gotten there yet. I don't think I ever get there. I don't know. Not knocking Snapchat. I just got too many passwords and usernames and all that, and I just trying to work one thing at a time. So,
Right.
but until next time, you guys make sure that if your life does not inspire you daily, it is time to do something different. Okay? That being said, love and light. Until next time, see you later.